Okay. Okay. So I kind of want to at least hop over here and steal this book I need.
Stay out of trouble.
Oh, it's in the mayor's house, of course. Book I need to steal is chilling in the mayor's house. Of course it is. Why would it be anything else?
Oh, so damn hot.
I know there's hidden object. It's this. That's the latest way that people are sitting there, in this case praying to a fireplace, and the fireplace magically opens into a hidden room and no one says anything. Like, that just seems weird to me. Ooh, there's a passage underneath this house. That's curious. Key to the mayor's cave. Okay. Why does the mayor have a cave? Does anyone want to explain that to me?
Blasted desert air. I miss the...
Stand right there. Let me take a look at you. Filthy, weary, lonely, but special, that's for certain. We don't see folks like you in Whitestone very often. I'm Mayor Eswin Elfhelm, and I'm the closest thing to a friend you've got around here.
Tell me about Whitestone.
This little town was the heart of the boom, the engine that drove the rise of Odessa. But in business, every boom is followed by the eventual bust. The gnomes moved out. With the gnomes went the gold, and with the gold went the jobs. Whitestone has been a shell of itself since. But I seek to change all that.
Noble. What of the mining?
Terrenium. It's the only reason the gnomes ever graced it here with their presence. Normally they'd find the climate too dry. They like their beards curly. Motus Mining settled Whitestone, built all the mines and relocated the families. Once they'd taken what they came for, they vanished almost overnight. Disgraceful.
Let me get this right. The gnomes right outside the main city of Metropolis abandoned the place. That seems kind of sketchy. Who are you?
My given name is Eswin Elfhelm, but people around here call me Mayor Eswin. They're simple people. That's why I like them. I grew up in the old main city of Myria, west of here. I'd never worked a full day in my life. I'm certainly making up for it now. I sleep 1-2 hours a night.
So I take it you're not a fan of the gnomes.
Once the Terrenium ran out, they moved on. Gnomes don't care for the welfare of other races. They're hoping we'll kill each other off. Save them the trouble.
What of Myria?
My home. A lifetime ago, it seems. The port was nice. The smell of fish near the harbor was... offensive. You'd have a hard time finding anything that resembles Myria here in Detir.
What about the families nearby?
There are 4 mining families. The Darkvari, the Sinriks, Zungars, and the Scorias. When the gnomes departed, so did the jobs. There was nothing for the miners left behind. Starvation, desperation, well, they change people. Most of the miners in Upper Tier kept their sanity, even when they lost everything else. But the others, they turned to banditry. The usual, theft, kidnapping, murder. You'd best stick close to Whitestone. You're an easy target.
Okay, so why are there only contracts for the other three? Tell me about the scoring.
Liars, thieves, and scum. Let's hope they never take control of Apotir.
Cynric?
The Sinrig boys think this is a game. They're laughing now, but we'll see how they like the taste of their own ruthlessness. They're the second oldest family in Apotir, and they're headed for a prison, or the graveyard.
What was the Dark
The
Vari?
Darkvari were hit hardest by Modus's relocation. The young men and women watched the elders and children waste away. Now they're all that's left. Sad story, isn't it? Doesn't excuse their lawlessness.
What about the Zengars?
It would take quite a bit to convince me the Zongars weren't criminals from the start. It's probably no surprise the worst miners of Apotir make the best brigands.
Okay, so the only ones he mentioned taking over was Scoria, whatever. What will I be doing?
I like you. You're not a fool. Want to know what you're getting into? Well, I think big, but I'm smart enough to start small. I need a person who can do both. I want you to acquire something for me. Something that rightfully belongs to me.
I'll work for you.
There's a man named Adolf Scoria, patriarch of the most prominent mining family in Apotir. Months ago, I bought his family mine. It wasn't cheap. Now Adolf refuses to surrender the property. In fact, he's gone into hiding and won't meet with me. I need you to acquire what is legally mine. The deed to his claim. Modus Mining stored all the records in its old headquarters east of the village. But the building has long since been overrun. Get that deed, and we're in business.
Okay. So where's the deed?
Probably in that relic of a building that was once Motus headquarters. Now a haven for thugs and criminals. Near the cemetery to the east.
Okay. Or go down into the cave. Let's go this way. I'm curious, though. I think he has some alternative motives. Ulterior motives? Alternative motives? Both work. That's the case. I need to figure out what's in those caves. Here we can pick up another quest while we're outside.
Hey! Careful out there.
Thirsty wench. That must be the inn. General store. Maybe it's a backpack. Haven't bought one of those in a hot minute. There's not one here. Surely there's hopefully one in Odessa. This place is a little bit cozier than I expected. Personal letter written on the back of an old Modus Mining production report. Dear Varric. A.S. Alan Shear? No. Don't worry about me. I'm in the good hands. The Sinrics are right as lot, but no more than any of the rest of us. They still have some honor despite their recent villainy. It's a shame they've had to fall so far simply to stay alive. Isn't that the way of Apotir? I will be in touch, my friend. If anyone asks about me, send them away from the quarry, even our allies. I can't risk having that snake Eswin discover my location. Unchecked, he will stop at nothing to crush all Whitestone under his well-manicured thumb. City dwellers? What was that old joke? How can you tell if a man's a noble? Check his Bewall Varric. You'll be hearing from me soon. Ah, so see, he is being snake oily.
Hey there. Don't kill me, please! Just a little Whitestone humor for you. Maybe it's not for everybody. My name's Varric Dunbert, in my trade selling. We get a quirky collection of goods in town these days. You're welcome to it.
Okay, tell me about the mayor.
Honestly? Well, I'm not sure what to make of that one. He's certainly got clean hands for someone in Apatia. Rumor has it he's city-bred. Have you seen his cottage? It is more rooms than a flophouse.
I like one room and a back area and a cave. That's what you mean. What about the families?
Oh, don't you break into a sweat over the Sinrics and the Zungars. Good people. At least they were back in the days of the cart and shovel. Now they make their living with the sword. Can't say I blame them. Not after what the gnomes did to us.
What about the Scry family?
Some say they're not criminals, despite the mayor's proclamations. I'll refrain from judging.
Strangers?
You're right, I see pretty much everything and everyone that comes in and out of Whitestone. And we do get our share of eccentric visitors. Just the other day I noticed a real sorrowful-looking Alfar lurking around the tavern.
Sitting there next. What about travelers?
I don't mind them. In fact, think Mitharu, that sun camp, is just down the road. Without their merchants, the people of Whitestone would starve to death. We don't get many supplies from the city, and there's no work to be done in trade. Honest thieves, one man's opinion.
Show 'em what you got. Awful. Pretty sure that's sorcery. You don't even have lockpicks. You ain't got nothing, dude. Hopefully the travelers have a better selection. Okay, I could have swore he had an exclamation mark on his head.
What is it? I don't like folks standing around in the center of town. It looks suspicious.
You look suspicious. We know about town.
People call it Bone Town because of the pale rocks jutting up from the sand. And because of the death rate.
What about the Scry family?
They're no better than the rest of these savages. Don't let the righteousness fool you. Everyone in Whitestone is out for one person. Himself.
What about the mayor?
He's not from around here. A city boy born and raised in Myria. Came to seek fortune, but landed in Apatia right when Motus Mining cut their losses. You'd think he'd wither in this desert, but it was his idea to bring in the mercenaries. With Mayor Eswin in Whitestone, we have a fighting chance.
Just because you're a mercenary. What about the Apatia other families?
Miners. And they used to make a good living too, back when Motus Mining had its teeth in Apatia. When Motus pulled out, the money dried up. Now most of them are criminals. A nasty lot. The Zungars are the worst. But the Darkvari and the Sinrig know Liana's dance as well.
Liani's dance?
Simpesta Liana was first sworn. They called her the Desert Runner, and you do well to learn her ways out here.
What about the rest of the criminals?
There's plenty of them. Just ask Kara, or walk a few paces out of Whitestone in any direction. Sometimes they even come into town. A few weeks ago, I caught a bandit trying to slip into the mayor's window. Fool. He's been locked up in a cage ever since. As an example.
We know about a Doth Scory.
He's a dangerous man, and he'll stop at nothing to bring ruin to Whitestone. Luckily, the mayor knows how to deal with crooks like Scoria.
Scoria. Okay, before we talk to him about the key, I'm gonna save, just in case it causes a problem. Last thing I need is a fight breaking out right here.
Like I said, I don't want people hanging around.
I'd like the key to the cage.
You'd like the what? Hold on a moment. Repeat what you just said so I can laugh appropriately. You'd like the cage key. Oh, that is truly humorous.
Steve Dagwari is innocent.
You think so too, eh? The mayor had me do that, to set an example and keep the families in line. Steg's a good kid. A foolhardy romantic, but good. Listen, if you can get him out of here without being seen, I'll turn my back and pretend this conversation never happened. You got me?
Sure.
Careful out there. Hey,
Well done. Now, you've done me this one favor. Let's finish what we've started. Before I can leave this cursed desert, I need several things. First, I need to fetch the item that will finance our new life in Odessa, our nest egg. It is an heirloom that has been in the Darkvari family for generations. Then I need you to find Hrindi and bring her to me at our old meeting place in Snaketail Canyon. Please, you must do this for me. For us. Thank you.
I didn't even press anything, I just walked up to it.
strange up.
Let's go to the winch first. And then we're gonna go through the mayor's cave and see what he's hiding down there. You guys might want to renovate a little bit. There are all kinds of missions up in this place. A lot more than I was expecting, let me tell you that. I still want to know why some bookshelves show up and some don't. It's strange, to say the least. Alright, what's up with you?
Welcome to the Thirsty Wench. I'm Bera Grastar, owner, innkeep, and namesake. We don't get many strangers in Whitestone, at least not since Motus pulled out and the mercenaries dug in. What can I get you?
So many things. We can tell me about families.
Not everyone in Apatir worked for one of the big mining families, but most of them did. And when the work dried up, they stayed with their crews. Only now they're robbing travelers and kidnapping merchants instead of digging. Only thing we dig in Whitestone these days are graves.
It's unfortunate. What about the mayor?
He's fine as far as nobles go, although he doesn't exactly fit in around here. He lacks that important layer of filth that comes from growing up in Apatir.
Nice. What about Modus mining interests?
Barely worth my breath, those bastards. Tell me, is it right to build a town and then suddenly leave it to rats? I don't think so either. The gnomes of Motus Mining have the people's hopes to answer for. They know better than to ever show their faces in Apatir again.
What about the prisoner outside?
You mean Steg? He's a good kid. Dumb as a plank, but sweet as they come. I really hope he gets out soon so he and Hrindi can be together.
Hrindi. What about the Scoria family?
Mayor Eswin should leave them alone. That's about all I have to say about it. The Scorias are family to everyone in Whitestone.
What about travelers?
Yeah, they come into town every so often, looking to socialize, I guess. Best keep your eyes on your belongings. There's a whole camp of them east of here near the cliffs. I think they call it Sun Camp. That was a joke.
Like how it didn't voice part, it says I have no idea why. Whitestone.
Same old faces, same old troubles. Whitestone hasn't changed much since the gnomes left us to the wastes. The mercenaries are new and good for business. We do have a few visitors, Alpha and a traveller to boot. I'd better watch out or the thirsty wench is going to get all respectable.
What about a room?
Sure, we've got a few available, but they'll cost you. Nothing comes cheap in Whitestone.
$400? Yeah, no.
It's your choice. Not many places to sleep in Whitestone where the rats won't get at you.
Food
Don't
supplies.
tell anyone, but I've run out of meat to serve the customers. If these louts find out, they're liable to start a riot. Do you have any meat with you? I'll pay you good money for it.
I can get some.
Okay, I guess that's better than nothing. I don't care where you get it, as long as it smells like meat when I place it over the fire.
Boom-psh. Sell animal meat?
Hurry up with some meat, or it'll be my bones they'll be eating.
Okay, so upstairs we got a few more things to look at. 2 of the same book. That's unusual and weird. Oh, that's actually what I need. Piece of paper was left behind by the officials of Modus, business concern once based in Apatir. Accident report. It happened last night, before the evening meal and before the briefing by scholars Jolene and Emus. The experimental refinement unit in Snaketail Grotto has suffered a stress fracture in its base. The foundation split, causing a large amount of waste to spill into the underground lake beneath. This lake feeds right into the Snaketail River. I don't believe there is any cause for concern, but I shall keep informed of any developments. That sounds bad. That sounds really bad. Okay, you first, Squire.
What is it? Can't you see I'm celebrating? That's right. Raise a glass, friend. Let's make a toast to cowards.
Who are you?
I walk the wall of Melsenshire. Do you know what that's like? The silence breathes. The shadows move. Every night is a lifetime. No drink can drown those memories.
What about the Crystal War?
What's there to say? The Tuatha just keep growing bolder, and our numbers fewer. Not like the people of Apatir care. They've got their own problems.
What do you think of the town?
This village is as good as any. I've seen many such places, all of them ravaged by the war, all of them feeling the distant decay of the Tuatha. There is no escape.
What are we celebrating?
I've made a choice, you see. After much deliberation and many pines, I've decided to disobey my direct superiors and not perform my duties. To the fires with orders. I'm finished delivering death notices. I've seen the faces of the war dead. I've no desire to look into the eyes of their loved ones.
What are your duties?
I volunteered to be a messenger, to bring death notices from the War Council to the families of the deceased. I thought it would be welcome respite from the war, but it's been its own kind of hell. I got through some of them, but by the time I reached Apatir, I was done.
I'll deliver.
You would do that? It would keep me from getting discharged. For I'm not going back. Here are the death notices. Take this medicine as well. I have my own right here. Ironic, isn't it? I can face the enemy, but I can't face the families of those who fought beside me. Pathetic. Your energy will not be spent in vain. I will pay you well to do this for me, but the road will be long and fraught with grief.
I've got a new task in a while. What do I tell the families?
Tell them what you want. Won't change what has happened. Their sons and daughters are gone. No one can soften that blow. Goodbye.
Okay.
Are they giving you a hard time around here, too? Whitestone, a boot full of vipers, this place. Can't stand it. And after everything we've done for them down in Sun Camp, you'd think they'd be more appreciative. And starvation's too good for the mayor, I say.
Who are you?
It wasn't my life plan to become a traveler, believe me. But sometimes necessity is the only star you follow. My parents were miners and worked themselves to the bone to provide. When the Terrenium dried up, so did they, you could say. I didn't want to leave Apatir, so I stayed.
What's your problem with the mayor?
He's as corrupt as they come, but I shouldn't be one to speak, not with my associations. Still, it's one thing to say you're a crook, and another to pretend you're not.
You got a good point. So you like being with travelers?
Some of us join because we have to. Others expect it to be an adventure. We're a patchwork, really, a glorious patchwork of imperfection.
What's on camp?
We're travelers by affiliation, but we specialize in fair exchange of goods and services. Not to say we won't steal, it's just not our stock and trade. You'll find us east of here, past the old Motors Mining Headquarters building, just shy of the seaside cliffs. You should stop by, it's quite a view.
I will. Why do you hate the mayor?
Silly question. Who doesn't hate the mayor? We travelers had a good thing going here in Whitestone. The people came to us for their needs. We had a relationship. Now Mayor Eswin says trading with travelers is illegal, and as a result, the folks of Apatir won't touch us. I'm surprised they even let me into town without a fight.
I can try and steal it? Steal what?
You're welcome to give it a go, but I can't promise you'll get anywhere. That old mansion was built by the gnomes back when they first settled the village. It's got more hidden corners than a spider web. I doubt old Eswin's even seen all of it. I doubt the old mayor has either. Maybe I'll show some initiative eventually. Until then, you're welcome to make us both look good.
What is she trying to steal? What about the town?
It's a good town, or it was before the Motus disaster and the mercenaries. I have fond memories of Whitestone. I used to buy candy at Varric's place. Simpler times.
Getting into the mayor's house?
The doors are locked, so I'm guessing there are keys required. That's usually how the arrangement works. Bye.
So what am I stealing? I'm confused. I did not go the way it probably should have. A bunch of new death notices. You know what that is. Nest egg. Traveling on needs help retrieving an item that the mayor Winston stole from her people in Sun Camp. His house has multiple levels, and I must first get through the door to the passage leading to the higher floors. Well, that's easy enough. I was about to go do that anyway. I'm down with that. Excuse me.
And hot.
Yes, what is it? We're not supposed to speak with the citizens.
Joanne Gordon is dead.
Joanne? You mean my wife has died? I knew she sailed for Cluricon, but we got so little news here in Apatir. I told her the war wouldn't last. I insisted. And as usual, I was wrong. My wife was beautiful. She deserved better. I only wish I could have given it to her. I only wish I could have been there for her in the end. Thank you for telling me.
Stranger.
Terminate the family. Terminate the family. Steal the deed. Speak to Arjun. Terminate the family. No one for this one. Wait, here we do. That. Weird. Okay, we need stuck on something random. Okay, let's see what's going on. So we can sneak in here, I guess? Find out what he's hiding. Stuff to steal. Let's use Persian lockpick because I have them. Oh, so that's why they were talking about his mansion being so big. Okay, I was about to say that would suck. Don't freeze on the game, come on.